What is going on, everybody? Welcome back. Welcome me back, actually, because it's been a little bit since I've uploaded, but we're back. Yes, I look like a bit of top deck right now, so I've got a bit of white on top, and then it goes down, so a bit of a top deck Cadbury bar, but that's okay. Everybody has these phases, am I right? So anyway, today we're going to be making an easy, simple meal prep for you all, which is underneath $10. So that's right, 10 Australian dollars will make you this meal prep, which you get about 6 meals out of it, maybe even more depending on how much you want to eat. So yeah, essentially what you want, dropping stuff already. You want some spirals. I prefer to actually use the spirals just because you can use whatever you want really, but get these for about 80 cents for a packet. You want tinned tomatoes, yourself some tuna, Italian herbs, and some tomato paste. That's really about it, and some garlic, but yeah, essentially everything here you can get from the shops for underneath 10 Australian dollars. So that works out to be like 8 US or something like that. I haven't really done the mathematics for it, but that's what we're gonna be doing. So I've got the water behind me already boiling up. So probably throw the pasta in. I just cook the entire bag because whatever I don't use in this, I'll just eat it later on with another meal. So I just cook the entire bag of pasta in one hit. Saves having to cook it at a later date. So once you get your pasta in, just throw it in, cook it. Give it a stir, put the lid on, bam. That one's done. So now get yourself a nice oven dish. These are definitely my favorites out of everything. I don't know what it is about these sort of casserole dishes, but man, I just love them so much. So you want to crack open all your other ingredients essentially and just chuck them all together. So this recipe is actually so simple, so quick. If you don't like tuna, then it's really unfortunate for you. But at the end of the day, you don't really taste the tuna. And the tuna is your protein source, so you want to keep it in there. But you can always substitute and throw chicken in instead, or turkey, or whatever else you want, and be just as good, really. So you want to drain your tuna entirely, so that's what I've done here. I'm going to be using 2 tins of tuna, which are these big 425 grammers. You don't have to use as much tuna if you don't want, but I mean, the more protein, the better, because the bigger you'll be. So just chuck that in. All nicely there. Don't forget to rinse your tuna cans as well. Don't just chuck them straight in the bin because then it's gonna smell like absolute crap. No one wants that bin just reeking like fish. So make sure you rinse your tins, rinse your sink as you go as well, because you just don't want it to stink. So trust me, you'll thank me later. All right, so once all your tuna's in, you wanna then add all your tomatoes. So you don't need to drain your tomatoes because that's just not what you do. So don't drain your tomato, keep all the good juices in there and pour it all over your tuna. Get it in there. Again, just rinse it as you go. Saves cleaning up in the process. So if you just clean everything as you use it, it just makes life so much easier at the end. Okay, so next up here is your Italian herbs. Get it on in there, just give it a good old smack. Smack it like you're at the strip club. Just get it all on there because you want a fair bit of this because it just makes it so much nicer. Next up is some garlic. I use garlic paste. You can crush your own if you really feel like it. But because I use so much garlic in everything that I cook, I prefer to just get the paste. It's so much easier, convenient. You can just scoop, scoop, scoop. So I like mine really garlicky, so I'm going to throw approximately 4 heaped teaspoons. When I say heaped, I mean like heaped teaspoons. So let's get that in there, like so. Wrap that up, put that back in the fridge. Now give it a slight mix. Just sort of try to blend all the flavors together before you've had to add your pasta. So it's easier if you just blend and mix everything together now. Starting to look a little something like that. You know, it's coming along nicely. Good stuff. So now get some Parmesan cheese. I forgot to mention at the start. Sprinkle that on in. Give it a nice coating because this stuff flavors it really well as the filling. So just give it a nice, generous coating. It's not really measurement. I mean, you guys can measure it out yourselves if you're concerned about your calorie intake. But at the moment, I'm sort of just trying to, you know, build up a little bit more. So I just smack some in there, get a rough gauge on it, and yeah, continue to mix that through with the rest of it. And if you feel like it's a little bit runny, then grab yourself some tomato paste, add 1 sachet of it. Otherwise, if you don't use sachets and you use those little tubs, just use one of the tubs. Same thing, different smell. Chuck that on in, thickens it up nicely. That's all the ingredients in, besides the pasta and besides the nice, delicious cheese topping, which you gotta use light cheese for, because there's not really point using real intense cheese on top of it unless you just want the extra calories. So if you're really hardcore at bulking up, but when there's certain things that I can reduce the fat in, I'll reduce it for certain reasons. I just don't. I feel like you get to eat more. Who doesn't like to eat more? So yeah, I just use light cheese in it, and I actually find that it browns on the top a lot nicer when it's actually the light cheese, whereas the full one just gets a little bit too oily for me. So that's why I do prefer light cheese. Just the fact that the top of it, when it's baking, it just, it's like it's come out of a pizza oven or something. Like, it's just spectacular. The pasta's still going, so I'm gonna wait for that to cook, and then we will be back. That changed up. But yes, pasta's now done. So, strain it, tip it on. Don't go full crazy with it. Tip a bit on, mix it through, tip a bit more, mix it through. Otherwise, you'll struggle to mix it in. So just keep mixing it through. Get it nice and coated with that goodness. Oh, I've just thrown it all over myself. Try to not do that because that's not fun. Now I'm probably going to smell like fish. No one wants to smell like fish. Alright, she's looking pretty good. I do say so myself. There we go. Mixed in. This is what it's looking like now. So get yourself your light cheese and just sprinkle that on top. Give it a nice coating. Don't go too overboard because, I mean, the basis of this is pasta and tuna, not just cheese. So give it a bit. Don't go overkill. I mean, you don't have to. You don't have to listen to me if you don't want, because I go a little bit overkill with it sometimes. So get a nice cheesy topping on that. And there we have it, right there. This is what you want it to look like. And then smack it in the oven at 180 degrees Celsius, not Fahrenheit, Celsius. I wish I could tell you how long for, but just keep an eye on it after, like, say, put it in for 20 minutes. After 20 minutes, check it out, because, I mean, you can eat it how it is, realistically. It's just to make it hot and melt the cheese and brown the cheese. So keep a strict eye on it. So I'd say about 20 minutes, but then after that, just keep watching it, and then it'll burn. Straight in the oven, kapow, and it is finished. Well, it's not finished, but like, that's us done for making it. So really, you guys don't have an excuse on why you can't meal prep something that's half decent. So as you saw, under $10 to make this, and it took me all of like 10 minutes to prep it all together. So if you've got a spare 10 minutes and a spare $10, then you can meal prep for 6 meals. So yeah. Anyway, once it is out of the oven, I'll show you guys what it looks like, because I know everybody likes to see that good cheese melted on top as you scoop it on out. So I'll see you then. Alright guys, so it seems it is now the time. It is ready. Not quite, but I'm starving, so I'm going to put that out a little bit early. I could leave it in there for a little bit longer if I wanted to really brown up the cheese. However, I'm satisfied with it. So I'm whipping it. Chopping forks. So here we go. I really need another thing. I'm going to burn my hand. So there we have it. Look at the size of this. Under $10 and it is this big. Look at that. Under $10 and it's down. I've just spilled shit all over the table. I forgot there was juices in this. Oh. Whoops. Shh, don't tell the girlfriend. That was a mistake. All right. Ah, fuck. Ooh. I forgot it just came out of the oven. Oopsie daisies. Jesus. Ow. My dog's staring at me, very concerned. All right. I need to lower this a little bit more somehow. Got to get my squat on now. Let's get down and let's see what it's like. Got my spoon. Obviously, like, you can let it rest for a bit longer if you want. There we go. Throw that down on the plate right there. Still spilling stuff everywhere. And there we go. Look at that. Who said, don't do that? Jeez, keep forgetting. And there we go. Absolutely amazing dish. For under $10. Quick, easy, high in protein, high in carbs. Everything you ever wanted. And it tastes unreal. Absolutely amazing. Highly recommend you get on it because, I mean, you can't really go wrong with it. You just slap all the ingredients together, throw it in the oven, walk away, come back, and you're done. Quick, simple, cheap, and effective if you're wanting to put on size and you're wanting to just make meal prep a lot easier for yourselves. So hopefully you guys do enjoy this meal. If you go ahead and make it yourself, the ingredient list will be down below. I haven't actually calculated the macros for it because at the moment I'm just eating to put on sides. So yeah, you guys can work it out to your own portions because obviously people use other ingredients that vary. So yeah, hopefully you all did enjoy it, and if you did, don't forget to smash that like button as always, and subscribe if you're new around here because we are back. We're back on a roll, and I hope to see you all next week. Stay juicy.